what do you do if you want your backdrop to change? I know that you know how to add backdrops just by clicking on any of these icons, depending on what sort of backdrop you want to add. But how do you use those different backdrops? How do you make it so that your cat goes from being amongst a bunch of, I don't know, trees to skiing or being at the playground? I mean, I know you can just click through these things, but how do you actually program your backdrop to change? This is a lot easier than it sounds. If I'm selected on my backdrops, my scripts, my code blocks are a little bit different than they are for my characters. And I mean like these blocks. I know that you understand that your code's going to be different over here because this is object-oriented programming and our code stays with our character or our backdrop. But if we're programming our backdrop, you have to think about the backdrop as if it is one character. And the backdrop is able to switch costumes just like when we made our cat run. He switches back and forth between two costumes in order to look like he's running. It looks like our background is changing because its costume is changing. So this is a pretty easy code, and you can actually do this a lot of different ways. But one way that you can do it is just by using wait blocks. So you can say, when the green flag is clicked, switch backdrop to playground. So I want it to start at the playground. And then I'm going to wait however many seconds I want to wait before I switch to another backdrop. Maybe the slopes. So if I press the green flag, it starts with the playground, switches to the slopes. Now if I add another wait block and switch the background, I want to make sure I'm just using the switch background to, not and wait, just the switch backdrop to. When I do this, I see some interesting changes occur. It's exactly what we wanted, and it's super simple. But there are some better ways to do this, because this way does make it a little bit tricky. You have to figure out how many seconds you want to wait. Sometimes you want a backdrop to change because something else happens on the screen. Like maybe you want the background to change because the player won your game. If you're doing that, then you would want something to happen like when the cat touches the bananas because our cat caught our bananas. It'll switch to another screen. If you're doing something like that, then your code is going to actually go with your sprite. So you would say, when the green flag is clicked, if then. We're going to use an if-then block. So if touching bananas, then looks, switch to backdrop, playground. So now, if I press the green flag, nothing happens. Because my cat hasn't touched the bananas yet. But if I want my cat to move forward, and if he touches the bananas in the process, which he should, he's almost touching. What's wrong here? Ooh, I know. It's because we forgot what? We forgot our forever block. A forever block will make it so that after the green flag is clicked, the computer is searching to see if this happens forever. Without the forever block, it only tries to see if it's touching the bananas when the green flag is clicked. So that's the difference there. What you just saw was a great example of testing and debugging. You're always going to do this with Scratch. You're always going to try something, see if it works, and then figure out how to make it work best for you. And you do that by building a project, trying to make it work, and then continuing to make changes to improve on your project. So now if I click the green flag, I put my mouse over my cat. When the space key is pressed, if touching mouse pointer, so my cat's touching the mouse pointer, now I'm going to space key it. This is kind of a little bit of a silly code, but it'll still show you exactly what's happening here. And my cat touched the bananas, and now it switched backdrops. So I hope this was helpful. We can go into some of these things in a little more depth another time. Have a great one.